I would like to call on Julian Matthews, the chairman of TofTigers and the coordinator of these awards, to say a few words and to say a few thank yous to all the remarkable people who have made this event happen. Julian Matthews, please.
Thank you for coming in your droves. Nature tourism is still relatively small in India, but you're all out here in your hundreds, and I'm so pleased to see you. Thank you for coming and believing in it. Your Excellency, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, thank you. You may remember that the last time I came here, 2 years ago, Scotland happened to be trying to decide to leave the United Kingdom. Well, guess what? The next time I'm up, we've decided to leave the European Union. So better not invite me back in 2 years' time. You never know what might happen. Years ago, I had a dream. I've always had this dream. It's a dream that I've obviously shared, and many others have shared it tonight. It's a vision of forests, and let me tell you, Valmik expresses it better than I do. It's a dream that forests can be saved, not with one single body, but wildernesses restored and cherished by private individuals, by communities, and by governments, of course, working together, but with finance from wherever it can be garnered, from government, from investors, from carbon. We haven't really thought about carbon yet. Through nature tourism, of course, through philanthropy. It's big in other parts of the world. Oh, even by crowdsourcing. Why not? It's possible. Let me give you some idea of my dream. It's best illustrated with the Pench-Kana corridor in Madhya Pradesh. Let's envisage a young tiger's journey from Pench to Kana. On the left of the Pench reservoir, the forests have been restored by a private conservancy supporting its restoration, and the tiger reserve's borders now extend to the dam's right-hand banks. Crossing the state border, he moves from Maharashtra to Madhya Pradesh within a tiger reserve, a habitat that has rebounded in the last 20 years thanks to a large herbivore density, better security, with a vibrant nature tourism community. Next, he walks under the underpasses of a contentious motorway into the Rukard area, this once neglected buffer area, now managed by the tiger reserve. Visitors enjoy wild camping and walking. The next part of the corridor was a problem, but some carbon financing helped to expand the thin forest neck here. Our tiger now arrives into a landscape that was owned by the government's commercially run forest corporation, with large teak plantations. But their forestry has been stopped, and the area has been restored by a community agreement that they now breed sambar and spotted deer instead of cattle for release in other key forests. This area, previously known for its insurgents and poaching activities, was targeted with greater government investment, creating more jobs and protection, and the expanding ecotourism industry resulted from the expansion of the buffer zones of Kana. So this forest has recovered, and our tigers finally feel safe through here. Before arriving into Kana, many farmers' fields have to be crossed. Farmers here are incentivized to leave pathways for wild animals, and village guardians watch out for big cats. Finally, the young male arrives into Kana Tiger Reserve and finds a new home here. It's a challenge, but it's not an impossible vision. Last night, that dream may just have got one step closer. In fact, tonight it might have got 2 steps closer, with Valmik and various others making it happen in Rajasthan, potentially in Maharashtra, potentially also in Madhya Pradesh. So it hasn't been all wasted the last 10 years. But let's not kid ourselves. We still are in real danger. We're losing wilderness at an alarming rate. In fact, 10% of the world's wilderness has been lost in just the last 25 years. That's in the same time that I've had a career in wildlife tourism. And that was from a bad start 25 years ago when I got into conservation and nature tourism. And this, of course, is not just a forest for us to recreate in. This is basically fundamental basis of life. This is where we get our fresh air from, our water from, our medicines, pollinators come from here. Soil fertility is important here. It stops flood prevention. We're spending billions in the UK on flood prevention, which could have been preserved by better wetland restoration. And a lot more besides. Lots and lots of ecosystems, services we forget. But of course we also love them. We cherish them. And we find some element of spiritual fulfillment in them. So what I'm really suggesting, and what I've called it, is like you have smart cities here in the UK, let's start thinking smart forests. I'm talking about real conservation investment with financial incentives. Yes, they might even be tax incentives for the wealthy to get involved in restoring our forests, to save those remaining areas that I've just talked to you about, with the people and skills to restore them. We have them all here. We have the finance, we have the people, we have the enthusiasm, we have the passion. And ensure communities are the principal beneficiaries. That is absolutely critical. And nature tourism will be a highly significant way of sustaining them, as proved across other parts of the world. This is not pie in the sky, guys. We're now getting real. A recent report on global protected areas from WWF and Cambridge University highlighted that for every 1 rupee you spent in conservation, you gain up to 67p return, an economic return. That's purely from nature tourism, not the other services that it gives. But nature tourism is tangible. It pays the bills. Therefore, it's increasingly important. So that result suggests that actually governments should be falling over themselves to be investing in conservation, not seeing it as a cost. And indeed, so should the industry, increasing it much more than the pittance that has to get by today. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor tonight. 2017 is the United Nations Year of Sustainable Tourism. And we're going to use it. And we're going to use you to help us use it. India was judged, and this is sad, by its own World Travel and Tourism Council as being 139th out of 141 countries in the world for environmental sustainability. That's crap. And we can do better. Sri Lanka, your next door neighbor, is 15th. Okay? Where have we gone wrong? We need to do better. Our industry needs to do better. Everyone needs to do better. So on the table in front of you, there's a form. You might have seen it. If you ever look, it's this form here. And anyone in the nature tourism industry tonight, I want you to look at that form, and I want you to pledge. I want you to pledge. I want you to tick boxes here, and I'm going to come and over the next year, and I'm going to recount those boxes and how you're going to help us change the way tourism is happening here. This is a series of measures you can take in your businesses, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to make you accountable to those. Please give them back to us at the end of the night as you leave. I'd be most grateful. It's only your passion, not just mine, and your dedication that'll make the real difference in help supporting this continent's endangered wildlife and wilderness, and ensure humanity continues to believe that the natural world is worth keeping. Thank you.